Sorry about that. But we miss out on our most precious resource, people. And it's our children. You want this world to be better? You want this world to change? It's time to stand up and make the change. If we don't make our children see something better in life, to give them hope that there's something else, there will never be. And anyone that's grew up in my era, anyone that's 40 and above, anyone that's 38, 35 and above, we know this stuff that's on TV was never there. But we keep missing our most precious resource to make this world the greatest it can be, and that's our children. I'm crying out for every child who's ever been in foster care. I know what it's like to sit up in the middle of the night wondering, why are you in here? Why am I in a group home where nobody loves me, nobody cares about what's happening to me? How was I able to go out in the world and have babies and nobody cared where I was until I had the baby? How is it that children can keep dying and there's nobody out here screaming out for them? How is it that this world can stand and look at themselves as good people, but nobody can care about what's happening to these children and truly make a stand? I love my children. And I've made my mistakes. And I've suffered through my own mistakes in silence. But it is not fair that children have to constantly keep going through the pain of this world just not listening. There's no reason why a child should be in and out of psych hospitals for a year or more. There's no reason why these children should be crying out in pain. How does a foster father become a foster father and he's a rapist? How do you put in a newspaper in New York and Boston and so many other places with dollar signs on the side of it saying become a parent, but then have the gall to tell the parent that they're not good enough as a parent? But you quite literally making a child seem like a prophet.
You can pay everybody else to take care of somebody's children, but the money that you're paying these foster parents to sit there and raise these children while they're taking their clothing checks, you could be giving that to the actual parent.
Girl, you know how many parents I had to take my clothing check?
You know, I never saw a clothing check a day in my life. You know, all I had for the winter time in Massachusetts was nothing but short sleeves, and then the rest of it was my school uniforms, and I only have 4
because
school
until
uniforms.
I got with Miss Upshaw, I never had nothing. Pregnant, I had a foster mother send her daughters after me to beat me down, to fight me, because I wouldn't do what she wanted me to do, which was eat some curry goat and some pork. Well, I didn't eat pork and I didn't eat curry goat. And I got beat down by not children, but grown women, pregnant. Me and my daughter's not putting this out here for your sympathy. We're putting this out there for you to hear what's really going on in this state. Is getting ridiculous. This country, should I say. This beautiful America that we stand so hard on and say is so wonderful. Our children are getting lost. The world is eating them up. The bullies, the shooting in schools, the just everything. We're not listening to our children and what they have to say. But we gotta listen, people. We gotta make a change. We gotta do something different. This is mine right here. And I got another one coming down for Christmas. And Lord knows I'm gonna go to Houston. And I'm going to go find my son y'all say y'all can't find. The state can't find him. He's in state custody. And you've lost my son. So now I got to go to Houston, Texas, and go try to find my son and run with gangs because you don't care. I got to go try to save my son. Me. But have you left my son where he was? All of them. They wouldn't be where they are today. I'm a mother of education, knowledge. I do what is meant to do as a parent. We got to teach and get our children ready for what's coming up. Not be a friend, but be a teacher, a guide. Someone that they can have to confide in and talk to and make a mistake with and know that they're safe for a minute. And I don't have a problem with that because Lord knows I love my children. But people, if y'all don't start standing up, this world will never get better. Social services need to be called on what they do. Because they're breeding criminals just as much as jails are. When you allow a child to run away and don't even report it for months, years, some children don't even get reported. And hey, I'm a testification to that. I ran away at 16 and nobody even did anything for me. I stayed out until I was 18 and then they couldn't do nothing to me. Nobody filed a report. And if you don't believe me, go look it up. Wahida Wright. Nobody ever went looking for Wahida until she had a baby. Then y'all took my baby and again, I made no difference to you. And while all these people are running around believing, oh, social workers don't get paid, the state don't get paid, what's the point? Yeah, they do. Just to let you know, in the state of New York, every 3 months they get $6,800, almost $7,000 every 3 months for these children. Not to mention the fact that these children are already on Medicaid. You can already get food stamps for these children. Mm-hmm. Most of these doctors that they hired are getting paid by the government. Mm-hmm. They're getting paid. Their clothing checks at the foster parents steal. And I'm telling you this as someone who's been in there, not as a mother. I watch foster mothers steal my check. Not feed me and tell me they ain't had no money when you know you getting a whole check separate from what your pay is to feed me.
Having foster parents keep locks on the fridge and cabinets and regulating how much you eat when you eat. You think I'm this big because of foster care? Of being adopted? No. I got my weight put on because I had to put my weight on. Being in houses that ain't had food because they just couldn't afford it at the time, but you was making money off of me and you couldn't afford it, or because you was just too selfish to sit there and feed me, give me something to put in my system. So I would go to school, eat one meal, and call it a day.
Amen.
And that's most kids nowadays in foster care. But people don't care about that. Not in DCF anyways.
And that's how my daughter ended up down here. I got a hold of her sister, who I've been talking to since she was 15. Even talked to her at a time when you know she was in a group home and they was not making her go to school. I had to talk her into going back to school. Me, the mother that you claim was so horrible. I had to bring my daughter down here because she needed a mother. And it isn't because I didn't want my children. I love my children. I'm not strung out, never been strung out. I barely drink. My drinking is social, like most adults. And I don't get drunk. My daughter been here for a year and ain't never seen me drunk.
No.
I watch my children. I stay home with my children. And if you go look in my case, you'll see every time my children got taken from me, they were visiting somebody else. Never with me. Please, people. When me and my child, as you can see her sitting there, she ain't old. You can clearly see her face. She young.
Hey.
You know.
Yeah, I guess that's...
You're so crazy. What we're asking for is for y'all to stand up and make a difference. For children who don't got a voice. Whose parents are too scared.
That's a lot.
This is what we're doing this for. And as soon as we can, we're writing a book. But please, by all means, if you want to know more, please text me on Facebook. I'll be more than willing to tell you. But this world got to change. Children got to stop getting hurt. You can't keep attacking these children to get back at the parents. Because all you breeding is the next generation of jailbait. Nothing more.
More statistics. Nothing but statistics. Just yeah.
So tonight we just simply ask that you take this warning. Listen to what we're saying. And I know we might not sound professional and all of that. And that's fine. I don't care. Because if I want to sound professional with you, I would. But I don't want to sound professional. I want to sound real. I want to be me. Because I'm not trying to sugarcoat me. Like I said, I'm not perfect, but ain't no parent perfect. Only perfect person in this world was Jesus. I made my mistakes. But there's a point in time when the mistakes don't need to be as bad as that. And my daughter dying was not my mistake. If you don't know what CIS is, it's crib death or sudden infant death syndrome. Something you can't stop. And if you don't believe me she dead, I'll go in my house if you text me. And I'll send you a picture of her urn. Pain happens, people. Life happens. But when do we stop making our children suffer for it? When do we start seeing what realistically is there? Social service is needed. But there must be some guidance. There needs to be somebody above them that don't get nothing out of it. That can say, no, this isn't right. No, we got to do it this way. I got lawyers and judges and social workers who has my back and would stand on this phone and simply tell y'all I wasn't a bad mother. I was young and I was poor. And I was trying to make a way for my children that would get them the best way. And that wasn't enough for the world. Well, guess what? Most parents are young and poor. And how many more children can we afford to keep putting in social services and losing? I just want y'all to think about this video. I hope everybody's having a good holiday for the most part. I know this isn't a holiday video, but it's a real video. Let's stop sweeping our children away. Let's stop dusting them off when they're convenient to play with off of a shelf. But let's stand and listen and make them be heard. Allow ourselves to listen and not just be told whatever sounds good. This world got to change, and our children are the first ones to do it. So I ask tonight that y'all just hear us out. I've never done this, but I think it's time. And that's for that little girl that hung herself on a video on Facebook. My heart and my prayers go out to you and your mom. Because I can never imagine what it would be like to actually know you'll never see your child again after going to foster care. But I do know what it's like to lose a child to death. And it hurts. Don't allow social services to sweep that under the rug. Don't allow social services to sweep our children under the rug. Let's make a stand for them. Let them have a voice so that our world can change. You have anything left you want to say?
No, not now. But I do have a lot, but just not right now.
Well, y'all will be getting some more videos, and hopefully within the next year you'll get our story. So I say happy holidays. To God be the glory. And let's stand up and make a difference. Good night to all.